As part of a staff that won 2 Georgia State titles, Matt Hopkins has seen the heights at Houston County. With sights on getting back to that level, the Bears open number 3 in the PBR Georgia Power 25. I'm Cory McCartney, joined by PBR Georgia Scouting Director Phil Kerber, and we welcome in Houston County coach Matt Hopkins. Matt, appreciate the time.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Now, as I mentioned, you were a longtime staff member before becoming head coach. Obviously, your second full season cut short due to the pandemic. Do you feel like you're still putting your stamp on what's your version of this program?
Yeah, to a degree. And, it's the same thing. Even, Coach Brett's the athletic director here now. So we talk daily. And, it was one of those things where, we weren't going to reinvent the wheel because obviously we were having a lot of success where we were. And I was very fortunate to be able to pair with him in a lot of the things that we were doing. So, maybe a few things here and there, like you said, just to put my stamp on things. But other than that, we're pretty much trying to run the exact same program that we have for the last decade.
Now I want to get into your pitching staff. You got 2 of the most electric arms in the 2021 class in Coleman, Willis, and Brodie, Chestnutt. I mean, 2 guys where if you're at the game and watching you guys get off the bus, you're like, holy cow, like those guys are seniors in high school. But what does it mean to have 2 guys like that leading your pitching staff?
Well, and that's another thing is, I think we've started to become known for a little bit of our arms over the past few years. I was talking to Tony Losi earlier. He just got traded to the Rockies, and DL Hall, a couple guys that we had a few years back, like you said, step off the bus and then they get on the bump and it's there too. And luckily it's not my first rodeo with them, but man, it makes you feel a lot better knowing you've got a couple guys that have played a lot of big innings and are going big places. And I know as, especially our defense and as hitters, offensively, it helps us out a lot knowing that those guys, no matter what happens, are going to keep us in a game, until we can get things rolling.
Not to be outdone by your arms. I mean, you got a couple of bats here, Big 12 guys, Treyson, Hughes, obviously, Gage, Harrelson. If you could, can you tell us what these 2 provide for you at the plate and kind of break down their abilities?
Yeah, I think, Gage is one that's kind of finally coming into his body a little bit, added a lot of speed. He's a coach's kid, understands the game, and, he's gotten a lot stronger over the last year. That was the thing with that. We hated getting cut short. We might have to talk about this in a little bit, but just the development, from some of those kids. He was a sophomore last year. As a junior so far, he's been night and day. And, a guy like Treyson, who's just got a really good gap-to-gap lefty swing, just a pure lefty stroke. Both of those guys are left-handed and, both have good speed. So anytime you can add a lefty stick with some wheels, it's going to, definitely provide a lot offensively for us. And we're really excited about both of those guys for sure.
Coach, you've got 2 of the top 2023s in the state in Drew Burris and Andrew Dunford. Burris is one of the top hitters that I've seen in the 2023 class. And then Dunford, you could stand him next to Willis and Chestnutt, and you've got yourself an offensive line there. What do you expect from those 2 guys as you head into the season?
Well, and you guys have seen them on the travel circuit. I think that, one thing that's changed so much in the last 10 years for high school baseball is these kids are playing so many high-level games against high-level competition that normally I wouldn't be as necessarily as ready for sophomores to come in and compete because they haven't seen arms like Lesko and, they haven't seen arms like, if Brady House is throwing or McGuire at Alatoona, these arms that we're going to face. But, these kids have seen it. It speeds up the development. And honestly, we're going to have both of those guys if we plan on doing anything special. That's for sure.
Coach, you had mentioned player development. And obviously, last year's shutdown, some guys got delayed in that regard. How much concern did you have going into this season, and how have you been able to address that as you guys gear up for 2021?
Well, one of the biggest things I just mentioned that our guys play travel. I mean, they do. Pretty much every guy that we really rely on and lean on, shoot. Yeah, y'all saw it. Travel ball lived their own life during the quarantine. While we're shut down, they're getting game reps and game reps and game reps. And, now the difference, we always talk about the high school game a lot of times is a lot different than travel ball as far as, we do a lot of small ball here, trying to put wheels in motion and, just getting that cohesiveness as a group, and not bringing kids from all over the place, trying to get them to gel. And I think that's one of the biggest things is trying to get them recouped into being our team, Houston County Bears, and not, whether it's Team Elite or, Game On or East Cobb or 5-Star. Now we're bringing them all back. And that's what's so special about this group so far is these kids like being around each other. And, it's been a really good process so far. Pretty hungry, obviously after being shut down last year, they're really getting after it. And I've been very happy so far.
Coach, just take a step back and look at the big picture, your region and your class. Yeah, I know the obvious answer is that Buford's going to be the team to beat in 6A, but what are some other teams that you're kind of keeping an eye on or looking at for this upcoming season?
I tell you what, 6A, I tell everybody that talks to me, it's a gauntlet this year. There are some special teams, and I don't remember it being this deep in a long time. You got the additions of Harrelson coming up, who were undefeated. I've looked at everybody. I think we have to, and they've got some good arms and some good talent all around the field. And, Alatoona, they're there every year. Coach Hansen does a great job up there. Another power. It seems like everybody's got a dude now. It seems like every team, I don't care if they're a 4 seed, has somebody going D1 somewhere. And so, that's what we keep trying to tell them is, we've got talented guys, but everybody can play now. And, if you sleep for a second, Pope, if you don't throw Pope in there, I don't know who you would. Those guys are stalwarts at the end. And, Glenn's doing good things down there. It's just all over the state. You're seeing these teams really. And Winder, Buford and Winder. You've got Pope and Alatoona. I kind of want to drive up there and just watch some of these games because they're high-level playoff, whatever you want to call it, just intensity, and we still got Lee County and Valdosta, some teams that have been pretty solid too.
Well, Coach, everybody's got some dudes, but you certainly have a lot of them. We wish you the best of luck in 2021 and appreciate the time.
All right. Thank you. Thank y'all. Thanks for the coverage.